Yeah! So, for today, I'm gonna be talking about the most popular character from the Fantastic Four of all time. That's right, I'm talking about Herbie! Yeah! So, alright, let's go!
Alright, so we start off with a alien spaceship crashing onto the Earth's surface, and if that wasn't wild enough, a giant hairy extraterrestrial being emerges from the spaceship and starts walking towards the big city. Meanwhile, while the Fantastic Four are doing fantastic-y four-y things in the Baxter building during their downtime, Herbie's system detects that there is trouble afoot and potentially some giant mass approaching the building. So he flips out and he signals a general red alert, which causes the top of the Baxter building to glow like a lamp in the red light district, but mostly to let the population below know that something horrible's going down. So Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Girl, and the Thing hop into the Fantastic car to go check out what the hell's going down. And they run into this giant alien. This ill-tempered beast is like picking up cars, throwing them into the river, and it even damaged part of City Bridge, which is horrible, right? It's so damaged that Mr. Fantastic and the Thing need to hop down there, take a quick engineering look at it, and kind of fix the thing up a bit, so people on the bridge don't, die. And you know damn well that the US Armed Forces are gonna get in on the action, which they do. And while that happens, Invisible Girl gets kidnapped by this beast. And man, gee, who would have seen this coming, hey? Some giant ape-looking beast capturing a blonde woman surrounded by the army in a city? Even though it's pretty brief, this beautiful homage to King Kong is just the chef's kiss, man. But it's also pretty pointless. Invisible Girl escapes with like the greatest of ease and rejoins the team. Herbie informs the team that he did some deep scans of the brainwaves of this alien, and he realizes that the alien is scared and confused. It doesn't know what's going on. What are all these noises and lights? This sounds like a reference to Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer, but I love it. Herbie even informed the President of the United States of these developments, and the President agrees with him that the alien must not be harmed all of a sudden, even though it's tearing the city apart. Wow, who the hell is this Herbie robot, hey? Does he think he's Mr. Spock or something? With all the answers and the science and the stuff. So in order to make sure that this beast doesn't get harmed, the three Fantastic Forces bring the alien back to its spaceship by making it invisible, so the day should be saved, right? Well, kind of. Another and larger alien pops out of the spaceship, and it says, "Hey, yeah, thanks guys for not hurting my kid here. As he was tearing apart your city, destroying buildings, and potentially killing people. Yeah, he was just having fun. But also, if you guys would have touched a hair on his chinny chin chin, we would have destroyed your planet in a heartbeat." Oh, he basically tells the humans to piss off. Literally calls us ugly and then takes off. Like, what a jerk species, man. You destroy our cities, you guaranteed killed some people, and you insult us? Yeah, you guys better take off. Jeez. But with this alien gone, there's no more threat to the city or to the entire planet and human species, so the day is saved. Hooray! And with that, that is the end of this fantastic tale.
So yeah, that was an interesting episode, hey? Man, this show is so different from the other show and so different from the comic books, right? Like, it's such a different vibe for the team. I guess one of the main reasons is the whole dynamics of the team is completely topsy-turvy. No Human Torch, but instead you have this lovable little robot who is actually pretty adorable. Damn it. But for the whole team dynamics, man, like, jeez. So it's kind of funny, because usually Mr. Fantastic is the smartest one in any given room, and he's the leader of the Fantastic Four, and he's the one who comes up with all the solutions to all the problems, right? Well, nope, not in this episode. Like, Herbie completely took over that role from Mr. Fantastic. And Reed Richards, man, he basically turned into a lackey in this episode. Yes, boss. Whatever you say, boss. Just tell me where to go, boss. Damn it, man. You can't have two Reed Richard characters on one team?
That's too many weeds.
Well, I guess in one sense, Mr. Fantastic is a, well, fantastic leader, and a great leader knows when to let his team, take the lead once in a while if they have really good ideas, right?
Support your team members.
So that's kind of what Reed is doing this episode, I guess? So yeah, good on him, eh? And I do find it quite amusing how Reed Richards and Susan Storm treat Herbie the way an overprotective parent would treat a child. Like Herbie, I guess, is pretty prone to overloading his circuits because he gets so worked up about things, but you could just reprogram the guy or something, Give him mechanical Prozac, I don't know, something, right? Jeez.
Which is kind of the theme for this episode, right? Fantastic Four is very protective of their robot kid, Herbie, and the aliens are really protective of their, well, alien kid in that old classic science fiction way of a super powerful child destroying stuff. But nonetheless, man, it's all about family.
So with the previous Fantastic Four cartoon series, all of those episodes for the most part were based on existing comic book stories, which was awesome because there was so much happening in those comics that you could cut down all the kind of filler stuff and just focus on the action and have a really awesome episode, right? This episode is not based on any comic, it's a brand new story for this cartoon series, and it seems to rely too much on talking and not enough on action, so it is kind of a really different kind of a show altogether. But, much like the comics, this episode was written by Stan Lee. Stan the man! So, it was still, pretty good all in all. Not the best story from a Fantastic Four I've ever seen or read or whatever, but it is what it is. But, yeah, that's pretty much all my yammering I have going on right now, and let's go see what else we can find out about Herbie and all that stuff.
Yeah, so Herbie, eh? And no Human Torch? What the hell? Well, you see, during the time of this cartoon, Universal Pictures wanted to make a Human Torch movie, and they obtained the rights to just his character. That movie never actually happened, but when this new cartoon series was being made, well, the production company, DePatie Freelong Enterprises, did not have the rights to use Human Torch on television, so therefore, a new character had to be made. And this was the same problem that plagued the show in the same universe, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That show was supposed to feature the three main characters, Spider-Man, Iceman, and Human Torch, but same problems, right? So they replaced Human Torch with a brand new created character, Firestar, a mutant with fire ability powers, right? And that character would have been a pretty awesome replacement for Johnny Storm in this Fantastic Four series, right? Nope. Instead, we were introduced to a brand new character made for this show, H.E.R.B.I.E, which is an acronym that stands for Humanoid Experimental B-Type Integrated Electronics. And no, not Herbie from Herbie the Love Bug. Although, man, you know what? That would actually be a pretty interesting show, I think. The really awesome thing about Herbie is that he was created by two legends of the comic book world, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Man, these guys have created so many characters together, so for this character, which would be the last character Kirby created for Marvel, it's like, man, still a thing of beauty, right? And like Herbie himself, man, dude is pretty adorable, right? And was pretty well received. So much so that he was quickly adapted into the comic book universe. His first comic book appearance was Fantastic Four number 209 in 1979. And in that story, Herbie was created so that Reed Richards could have access to the Baxter Building computers while he was away. He was much more of a supporting character than, one of the main characters of the team, but it's pretty cool to have around, and the character himself makes sense, Reed Richards builds so many things and they're so, advanced, him having a helper robot makes perfect sense. The really funny thing is, in that the comic book realm, this new Fantastic Four cartoon exists. And Johnny Storm, aka Human Torch, was not on the show because he wasn't around to sign off his likeness to be used in the show. So that's why in this real world cartoon, we don't see Johnny Storm. And you know what? Like, that explanation kind of makes me appreciate this show just a little bit more. But when it comes to replacement characters and Fantastic Four, this is something that would become quite common later on. So in the comic book realm, after the massive cross-character storyline, The Secret Wars, Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, decided to stay on the planet Battlefield, where the bulk of the story happened. He had some things to work out, some villains to punch, and so, you know, he would be out of the Fantastic Four for a bit. The team needed a new member, and that new member would come in the form of She-Hulk. On a request from The Thing, really. She joined the team in Fantastic Four number 265 in 1984 and was a pretty awesome replacement, really, right? Like, she and The Thing are pretty similar characters, you know? They both have the super strength powers, they both have the same kind of a personality, and they both have a different kind of appearance than, you know, most people in the comics. The Thing did return to the team in Fantastic Four number 296 in 1986. So the name of this series is really called The New Fantastic Four, as in the new series featuring the Fantastic Four, as to differentiate it from the other one. But in the comic book world, there was a team called The New Fantastic Four, you know? And speaking of replacing characters, hey? In the storyline, the original Fantastic Four team disappeared, and new members were asked to join a new team to avenge the original team, or something like that, right? Which they did. This new Fantastic Four was formed in Fantastic Four number 347 in 1990. And the team consisted of Hulk, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Ghost Rider for some reason. Maybe because he's flames and stuff. But yeah, you know, that's the way it goes. Changes to a team like the Fantastic Four, it happens, and it's first happened in this cartoon episode. And Herbie, like I say, he's pretty loved, and he has been popping up quite a bit here and there. Pretty good complimentary character to the team itself, so it's good to see him around. And we'll see him around a lot more, yeah. But yeah, man, other than that, with this, that, those, and the other things, I guess, that's that. Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, you know, feel free to do so. Or anything else, you know, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, you know, have a great day. Thanks.